Ba weep grana weep nini bong, and welcome back to the Justin Network. Today we are going to be reviewing the Studio Series 81 Wheeljack from the Transformers Bumblebee movie. Get you a good look at this guy. He was not in the movie very much, but he was in that absolutely famous and amazing Cybertron scene at the very beginning of the movie. And he got a cool figure out of it. Let's go ahead and open him up, see what we think. All right, and here is our smart boy Wheeljack. So, let's go ahead and get some good looks at him here. All right, I want to go ahead and say he's got a good look to him. He's looking good. He has got nice colors. I like that they didn't use pure white. It's more of a tan color, sort of. I do feel like the foot and the leg are different colors. They feel like they're slightly different colors. And maybe that's just my imagination, but I feel like I'm seeing two different colors there. They look slightly different, those two. But yeah, this is what we got with Ratchet here. Like I said, he wasn't in the movie too awful much. He just had a little part at the beginning, kind of there with like Ratchet. Let's see, RC was there. There was a couple of them that you could see there for a few minutes. He did come with the same background here as Ratchet did. This is the only difference is this one was 81, Ratchet's was 82. He's got a nice little head sculpt, I feel like. It looks pretty good. Overall, I think this is a pretty solid look for Ratchet. He does got there at the knee. He can kick that far back. His hands will not spin. This Wheeljack is a deluxe class. He does spin at the hip, but this part gets in the way. It makes it, oh yeah, he can turn all the way around. You just gotta do a little finagling there. He's got, I feel like these are pretty loose. It could just be on my copy, but I feel like these are pretty loose. Let's see if he can do the good old, he cannot. That's as far as his legs are gonna come up, is that way. So he is not a Jean-Claude Van Damme. He actually has a lot of restriction there around the top of his thighs. He does not have a spin in his thigh or anything like that. His foot will do that right there, but it doesn't turn to the left or right. Kind of inhibited with his movements here, honestly, compared to what I was expecting. Not quite living up to it necessarily, in my opinion so far. The back, not too great. There's definitely just a lot of open, empty spots that feels like they don't want you to look at the back because they didn't do much to it, in my opinion. But I do think that's a good facial sculpture pretty well. I don't like how much it comes off. Do you see that? I feel like he's got a very thin looking neck and it looks kind of odd.
Rude.
But overall, colors looking pretty good. I don't know. I think it looks a little on the cheap side. Overall, I think I think I had really high expectations because Studio Series and we had Ratchet on this channel already, who I loved. This Wheeljack's a little bit of a letdown for me so far. Let's go ahead, transform him, see if maybe his alt mode will save him a little bit here. All right, and here's your boy Wheeljack in his alt mode. So he is a Cybertronian car, which I think doesn't look too bad. You didn't see it in the movie, so they got to use a little creative liberties here. But I think it looks pretty good. This is a good interpretation of Wheeljack in my opinion. You can tell it's Wheeljack. A lot of open spots there on the bottom. That's okay. I do think it was tough to transform. Any live action figure, in my opinion, harder to transform than it should be. I think they're always too convoluted, too extra. There was a lot of just getting stuff to snap in, you know, I hate when we do that. But, and it's still not all together perfectly. But he's got pretty good rolling. I had to sit and mess around to get to stay pretty even kiltered there. But yeah, his wheels spin pretty good. let's look at the coloring and such here. Like I already said, I love the paint job there. It's got a nice looking hood here. I like how it's sort of see-through, not exactly. I mean, it is, but it's not like, hey, I can just see empty, open parts and such in there. I like the front end. See, as you can hear, it just feels like everything's not necessarily staying together as good as I would hope for. You can see there's some popping in right there. It just a little frustrating to transform. That's what I'm going to say. It's a little frustrating.
Would be a colossal understatement.
From the back, it's got a pretty bad look there. You can just see some clear openness there. But, I mean, not a bad silhouette. Let's go ahead and measure him out while we've got him here in his alt mode. All right. From the end of each wheel to the end of each wheel, it's going to be just a smidge under 2.5 inches there. From end to end here, it's gonna be about right around 4.5. Pretty nice little car. I don't know, I think it looks good. I just wish it wasn't so hard to get all the pieces to get together, stay together. Wish he was a little easier to transform. I think it just got a little convoluted at times that I was just like, all right, is this actually needed here? Is there not a simpler way we could have done this? Not trying to say it's hard as in, oh, I'm not smart enough to transform him. It's just frustrating, especially on a smaller class figure like this. If he was like this big, maybe not an issue. But, you know, with it being so small, I think it just makes it extra frustrating.
You know, this could be a sign of things to come.
All right, one thing I forgot to talk about when he was in bot mode that I'll bring up once we get him transformed again. He does have a blaster here. And so to put the blaster on the vehicle, it's not this hole right here. It's not the part where he holds it. No, all that would be too obvious. This is going to plug in right there. And it fits pretty nice. I don't think it looks too bad either. It definitely gives him some extra firepower, gives him a tougher look. I think he looks a little better without it. But it's not always about looks when we're trying to bust some Deceptichops.
When are we gonna start busting Deceptichops?
Or, as they were doing in the Bumblebee movie, trying to protect their planet against the treacherous Decepticons. But yeah, I think overall, maybe a smidge too harsh to start off on this alt mode. I think it's pretty good, I think this looks kind of weird. It feels like it should go down further in there, but I don't think it does. I really think that I've got it transformed right, and it's just, that's the way it sits. But I think if it went just a little bit more down in there, it would make it look a lot better. Overall, I think this is a good concept for a Cybertronian car. I like it. I think it's not bad at all. And you can tell pretty easily by looking at it, this is Wheeljack.
1 meltdown later.
Alright, so you're probably thinking, Justin, you skipped the transformation. What happened? Well, good reason for that. I couldn't get him transformed back. I did my best. His legs right in through here, the biggest pain in the butt, and yeah. So that's unfortunate, but you know, we got him. Everything's good now, but that took way too long. Here's his gun, by the way. Like I said, I didn't show it off while he was in his bot mode. Let's go ahead. It will plug and play right there for you. It will also, for storage purposes, go back here like this, which I think looks pretty cool. Does it look cool that way? Not really, but it does look cool like that, in my personal opinion. Pretty cool, kind of the way they did with ratchets. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, here's Wheeljack in his bot mode, all murked up and ready to go. Let's go ahead and measure him out. So, from the bottom to the top of his little wings, they're not really wings, but they move, by the way. I don't think I showed that off earlier. They can go all the way around there like that. But from the bottom to the top of them, it's gonna be, I'm talking 4 3/4 inches probably. But from the bottom of his feet to the top of his head, That's a different story. That's going to be just a little under 4 3/4 inches. Let's measure him up side by side with some of the recent Transformers that we've messed with on this channel. Go ahead and put him up against Ratchet Studio Series. Oh wow, Ratchet's bigger than him, and I did not realize. Are they different sizes? Interesting. They are both deluxes, but Ratchet is very obviously taller, as you can tell, than Wheeljack. Interesting. Cool. Perhaps a more accurate scaling. Now up against Authentics Wheeljack. Ooh, Wheeljack and Wheeljack. As you can see, definitely some differences. This is more G1 accurate. This is more of a modern day realistic look to him. But you can still obviously tell both are Wheeljack. Then for fun, let's put him up against
Big Mode.
I'll have to back it up. Back it up. As you can see, he's more than 2 times taller than Wheeljack. Fine. So, now we're going to get to the super important part of the video. How about we do a little bit of rankings? So, we have, starting off, functionality. Remember, that's going to be his articulation, his accessories, the storage for his accessories, his good old posing that he can do for you. Gonna give him a 5. It's got 1 accessory. Storage was okay. He did not have nearly as much articulation as I was expecting. And that's going to inhibit his posing as well, especially with the way his legs and stuff sit. I think posing's not going to be as easy as I would hope for Studio Series Transformer. So, next up, we have transformation. That's how easy, creative the transformation is, how fun it is. And I'm going to be 1000% honest with you guys. Giving him a 2. That is the lowest I've ever given anyone on this channel when it comes to transformation. But this was my least favorite Transformer, pretty sure ever, even when I was a kid, ever, that I've had to transform. Was it hard? I thought it was just so unnecessarily just elaborate. There was no reason for it to have to do as much craziness as it did. I do think it had a little creativity, so maybe that means I should boost it up to a 3. You know what? We'll give it a 3 because there was a little creativity. There was something I don't remember ever seeing before where these like slide out almost and spin. I don't remember ever seeing that on transformation before. So yeah, I guess this transformation of him will earn it a 3. And next up is appearance. Remember, that's going to be his likeness to the character. How well he looks in his robot mode, his alt mode, all that good nonsense. Gave him a 6. Didn't think it was great. I think he looks a little, I don't want to say cheap, but it's just not what I expected. I had higher hopes for this, especially with how good Ratchet Studio Series was from the Bumblebee movie. I love that figure. That is probably one of my favorite figures I've ever messed with on this channel, and Wheeljack was just a letdown from that. So yeah, I gave him a 6. He does look like he did in the movie pretty well. I mean, overall, he did alright. There was a lot of open spots, a lot of weird little places in his bot mode and alt mode. But yeah, we're going to settle with that 6. It's alright. That's going to wrap up this video. I just want to say I really appreciate you guys. I know it seems easy. I just come over here, play with some toys, talk about some toys, rank them, you know, silly stuff. But at the end of the day, I edit it, I do the thumbnails, I do everything. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm just saying it's harder than what you guys would think. It truly is. And especially a night before, which I will never be doing again. This is a tough video for me to get out for you guys on time. But just know that I'm dedicated to the grind and I want to get you guys a video every Tuesday. So that's why you're getting this video, because any way possible for me to get out of you guys getting this on Tuesday tomorrow, I totally would. I would take some time to chill out a little bit and come back to this guy, but I think this is more real. This is more genuine. This is what happens when you make a YouTube. But anyways, I digress. Thank you guys for coming back time and time again, for sharing, for liking, for commenting, all that good stuff. Now, I just want to say I really appreciate you all. And you know what that means. To all are one,